Congresswoman, first of all, we got a lot on migrants, but I got to get you to react to this because businesses are scared to death. Everybody's scared to death about this random crime and the repeat offenders. Your thoughts?
Look, you're absolutely right. I mean, the state has set up these businesses for failure, whether it be shutting them down during COVID, whether it be allowing them to be victims of burglary and robbery, whether it's just high taxes and congestion pricing fees now. Look, the state is setting us up for failure, unfortunately. Kathy Hochul and the state legislature have put in policies in place that have simply made us less safe. They know that 61% or more of New Yorkers are concerned about crime. And what do? They double down. They continue to introduce and pass more ridiculous pieces of legislation that tie the hands of the cops, that make it more difficult, that actually put criminals before victims. And, sadly, we had an opportunity to replace the governor, and New Yorkers, we didn't do it. Too many people fled instead of stayed here to fight with us. And I think that really is what happened. And these people feel emboldened now to continue these ridiculous policies.
Yeah, Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, you're right. And look what happened in Chicago. I thought Lori Lightfoot was the worst, and then the worst of the worst came in, and he gets elected. It's like, you thought, okay, here's a moment for Chicagoans to turn around, and they didn't. Ed Cox?
Lee Zeldin, though, what you're referring to, did such a successful campaign on the issue of crime that, in fact, Governor Hochul started really paying attention to it and trying to do something about it. Isn't that right, Congresswoman?
Well,
Oops, we're losing you. We're losing you a little there.
They pretended like they did something about it. Unfortunately, it was just show. They said that they were going to go there and make reforms and allow judges to have discretion. And as you know, and I'm sure the judge could talk more about it, they didn't go nearly as far enough. They gave judges discretion, but not to consider dangerousness. They just simply said that, well, if there's multiple times that they've been arrested, a judge can have some discretion, but you can't consider whether somebody's actually a danger to society, which is just ridiculous. One of the only states in the nation to do that. And
I think it is the only state that does that.
That's correct. It's the only state. And the federal system allows for the consideration of dangerousness. The other 49 allow for it. We're the only one. We're the outlier. And it's a very bad situation. And plus, it's not just the so-called bail reform. It's also the discovery laws. Prosecutors can't make their cases on time because of the discovery. And then it's the raise the age issue. They come up every day, Congresswoman. They come up with another bad idea that they push through in the supermajority in the legislature, and it makes it worse and worse and worse to try to maintain public safety.
Yeah, and then the members in the city council, including one of Justin Brannan of Brooklyn, voted to consider releasing more people from jails in New York City. Imagine that. There's not enough people that have been released from our jails that they want to do more of that. It's like, there's such a rush to close Rikers Island and just allow the streets to be taken over. There's absolutely no punishment. Think about this. With the bail law, right? Who is actually going to Rikers these days? You have to be like somebody accused of murder, of rape, of something truly serious for you to even end up in Rikers. But yet here they are chipping away, wanting to release more and more people from our prisons.
Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, I have to ask you, as we're talking about rising crime and the effects that it's having on businesses, everybody in New York, some huge headlines that just came out a little bit ago. Eric Adams, of course, the mayor of New York, saying we have no more room. He's actually distributing flyers telling migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border to consider another city. And it's costing $8 million a day. You just worked on passing a bill barring the use of U.S. public schools as migrant shelters because Mayor Eric Adams wanted to put them back in schools. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, he should consider telling the president to stop the chaos. Quite frankly, this was a manufactured crisis by the Biden administration. They chose to undo the policies of President Trump that were stemming the flow at the border, that were providing some type of clear order and process, that were telling people they had to remain this next safe country, not come over the border to apply for asylum. We know that roughly 2/3 of the cases in court just this past year were denied asylum cases, which means that these people are truly here illegally, that they are using asylum to try to get in the country, but they don't qualify for it. And what they're doing is creating a tremendous backlog in the system where it's now a 10-year wait to have your
No, but it's all ridiculous, Nicole. Governor Patterson, last question, because we got...
we have the attorney for the whistleblower coming.
Whistleblower on. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say that in his statement, Mayor Adams was critical not only of the federal government, but even of the state of New York. Now, I don't see how the state, if it's not getting any more than the city does, can do anything. But I admired the fact that he would step out there and do that. And when they first brought the migrants in, he was critical, and he got kicked off the president's reelection campaign.
Yeah, that's right. They paid him back. That's right. They're like, maybe he's not the best guy.
Does the White House take no prisoners? Is that what you're saying?
No. It took one, but I really liked the things he said.
Yeah, well, I know you got Vito in the studio, too, and Vito and I worked together to try to call on this mayor to stop misinterpreting the right to shelter law that is truly intended for citizens that are homeless. It was never intended for individuals who crossed over the border last week, and I think that the mayor just continues to incentivize it as opposed to...
And by the way, Nicole, for everybody to know, and this is certified, we had Tom DiNapoli on Tuesday, then we had Paul Zuber from the Business Council on yesterday. The amount of money coming in for income taxes from New York State was down 30% for the first quarter.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's not a surprise, right? I don't think to anybody. We are seeing people driven out by this governor, by our state legislature, by the mayor. People are concerned about crime. People are tired of being taxed to death to not receive the quality of life that they deserve.
Keep my family safe, and you want to tax me, but keep my family safe. Thank you, Nicole Maliotakis. We love you, and keep fighting for all New Yorkers. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nicole.
Take care. Thanks, guys.